what's up, guys? Toogie here, back again with another episode of my Carolina Hurricanes franchise mode series right here on NHL 19. In today's episode, we take on the Pittsburgh Penguins in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And as was pointed out in the comments section of the last video, the Penguins managed to do us a massive favor by eliminating the New Jersey Devils in the first round, the top team in the league on tiebreaker over the Minnesota Wild. That is who we were scheduled to face until the 8th-seeded Penguins were able to overcome them. So in a way, it is tremendous that we get to avoid the Devils, because obviously that is one hell of a squad, but it also has to scare us a little bit. And as it is, they had a great first round. Hall and Hughes, Hischier were all tremendous. Everyone else, I mean, okay, at the very least. It makes me wonder if it was a goaltending issue, but that is a very scary team to look at. But to my point, it means just how, it makes you wonder just how scary the Pittsburgh Penguins are that they were able to beat this roster. And I guess the key here is that the defense just wasn't there at all. Technically, I'm really not supposed to look at overalls, of course, because Fog of War is supposed to be on, but meh, whatever. You can kind of tell by the names how good some of these guys are going to be, including former Hurricane Hayden Fleury. Goaltender, though, Mackenzie Blackwood, only a .914, and that, I think, was the difference maker. That is astonishing that Pittsburgh was able to win. We're already here. We know what our team looks like. What do the Penguins look like is my question, and actually we'll go, of course, to the lineup screen, and we'll see just what exactly we are dealing with, and then we'll do a quick little recap of our team, of course, as we point out the key players that we are going to need to succeed. So the Penguins at this point shaping up like this. No Sidney Crosby, currently hurt, and we will see for how long. They have Josh Hosang, Vlad Nemesnikov, and Kalle Järnkrok as healthy scratches. No Crosby, though. Yet they still won? He must have gotten hurt in the clinching game, right? There's no way that they beat New Jersey without Crosby. Oh, God, that is too realistic. Crosby with a concussion. I'm not laughing at the fact that Crosby has a concussion, but that's just, ugh. Like, of course, if there was ever going to be an injury for Crosby in the video game, it was going to be a concussion. He's out until May 12th, but that presents to us one hell of an opportunity where, again, this team, despite the fact they were able to take down New Jersey, they're missing their leader, and we should be able to win this, I would hope, but it's honestly quite the task, even without Crosby. Top line of Jake Guentzel, who struggled in the first round, but you know what that means. He could turn it on. Vinny Trocheck, who had 5 assists in 6 games, and the 5-point in 6-game battle potato, Phil Kessel, at 36 years old. It's a pretty ridiculous top line, all things considered. The fact, too, that Kessel's listed as a third-line guy is astounding. At this point, the overalls don't really match up to what BA say they are, as far as, you know, for how to build the roster, but okay. Second line, and that's a problem. We have seen what someone like Nikita Gusev as a created player has been able to do. He has jumped 10 overall points from 78 to an 88. Of course, he is a 78 with him being the highest scoring guy in the KHL for, I believe, the past few seasons and at least this past year. He jumps up 10 overall points due to morale or due to statistical growth. And yeah, that's going to be a problem. Goal a game for Gusev in the first round. And again, much like with Guentzel, Evgeny Malkin struggled even more so. No points through 6 games against the Devils at 37 years old. But it's Evgeny Malkin in the playoffs. I don't think we can be all that optimistic. And then Chris Kreider rounds out the top 6. He had 4 points in 6 games. It is a very well-rounded team. Third line, Dominic Simone. No points in 6 games. Eric Haula, familiar face to us throughout this year, really. And Kasper Bjorkqvist, also a familiar name. Two names and 2 faces you'll recognize from the Finnish series, of course. We go to the fourth line, Brendan Leipsic, alongside, although Leipsic 3 points, alongside Jared McCann, 3 points as well, and Michael Rafflecopter, 2 points in 6 games for him. It's a very good team. It is a very good team. I would guess that they have done some dealings with the Vegas Golden Knights, at the very least. Defensively, it looks a little bit more promising for us. Brian Dumoulin, now at 32 years old, alongside a 36-year-old Chris Letang. So an interesting top pairing there. Second pairing is Kalen Addison. I was going to say Kalen, Kalen Addison. I know his name's Kalen. I'm sorry. He looks very disappointed that I let my, run-on sentences, or not even run-on sentences. Well, I'm just going to move on. Let's just move on. He's on that second pairing with Justin Schultz. Third pairing is Mirko Mueller and Radko Gudas. So not the biggest point producers on defense at this point. And the goaltender is Matt Murray, who is up to a 90 overall, had a 939 in the first round. Behind him, the goalie for the future, Jesper Wallstedt. So despite the fact that Sidney Crosby's hurt, and we should apparently be very happy about that, although, has he played this postseason? Did he just get hurt? Because they didn't play 7 games. Yeah, so Crosby hasn't played in these playoffs. So that's frightening. That's horrifying. They beat the Devils, the top team, without Sidney Crosby. What the hell is this going to be? Because we have our relatively high-powered offense. Now, of course, Andrei Svechnikov came back from injury. He is pointless, but not pointless, but without points. I love you, Andre. I'd never call you pointless. You're great. I love you. Nathan MacKinnon, of course, 7 points in 5 games. 7 points for Whitfield in 5 games. Teravainen was point a game. Shen was point a game. This team was on fire offensively throughout the first round. Can we keep that up? Is Matt Murray just too good? Are we not going to be able to jump over that particular hurdle? But I think the big difference for us here could very well be the ability of our defensemen to put up points. That could be a game changer. And this is, without a doubt, Spencer Knight's biggest task. As much as the Islanders presented a hurdle, this is a whole different level of challenge. And I am intrigued to see what's going to happen here, because we are ready to get this series underway. Round 2 for the very first time in the series, if I'm not mistaken. Hurricanes and Penguins, we have home ice advantage. It's a beautiful thing. Who will take advantage early on, though, in this series? First period of game 1, and the Penguins have the lone goal. It's Eric Holla. They outshot us 14-9. Second period, and a little bit more offense. Trocheck and Mueller made it 3-0, but 2 goals from Andrei Svechnikov in about 4.5 minutes has us back to within 1. So not the greatest performance thus far from Spencer Knight, but if he can shut it down in the third period, perhaps the offense can step up and help us walk away with the victory here. Can we get the job done? That is the question. Having to score 3 goals, maybe even 4 on Matt Murray, now 4, is one hell of a challenge. McCann with the goal. Power play chance for the Penguins goes to waste, but with 5 minutes left, it's not looking too good as the Penguins will take it. 4-2. 4-2 final in game 1. 31 shots, only 2 goals, 42 shots, 4 goals for Pittsburgh. Svechnikov had a great game, but Matt Murray ultimately did enough, and that is extremely problematic for us because you assume that is where Pittsburgh was able to win the series against New Jersey. Matt Murray must have been on point. He was on point in this one. And it's problematic, of course, because there's not really much that we can do. Of course, we ended up beating New York in 5, but it wasn't the type of series where we lose the first game and bounce back. Of course, we've seen that type of series in the Finnish series, for better and for worse, throughout that series time. No changes that really can be made, so we'll jump into it. It's game 2. We need a much better performance from Knight and the defense if we're going to have a hope of splitting these first 2 games. First period. So this could be a shorter episode. Wow. Kessel, Malkin, Kessel, Gusev, Kreider. Spencer Knight is chased in, I would assume, 5 minutes and 19 seconds. Every single one of those goals, for the most part, is from a terrible spot. Absolutely horrific. I mean, Kreider's goal is at least on the high slot. It's on the fringe. But those other 4, inexcusable. And it makes you wonder whether or not we're going with Jack Campbell in game 2. Or Game 3. I mean, we are going with Jack Campbell in Game 2. He's between the pipes moving forward. 5-0 Penguins at the end of the first. Second period, it is now 6-2. Back-to-back goals for Whitfield, but Raffl gets one back to again have it be a 4-point lead for the Penguins. We will quick sim the third period. And mercifully it ends. Malkin scores to make it 7-2. Svechnikov and McKinnon make it 7-4, but Gusev scores again. 8-4 is your final. 36 shots apiece. The difference certainly has been goaltending. The top line did everything they could to get us back into this one. But a 4-point night for Gusev, a 3-point night for Malkin. And it just wasn't meant to be. And this is not how I would have expected things to go down here. A god-awful night for the second line of Schenn, Niederreiter, and Teravainen. Not a very good night for the third line either. As far as any potential changes, I mean, people have debated, as Dominic Machine goes down to injury, people have debated whether or not in the playoffs I should be allowed to mix and match. Of course, we've talked about that. You know, as long as the team is good to go at the start of the year, am I good and can I make changes from there? Of course, I wouldn't necessarily want to drop Svechnikov down to the second line, but that conversation has been made about what level of maneuverability I have with this team. Gotta be honest with you, as I know Romanov's available, but we are going to go with Myers. If we if we don't make changes here, if I don't change anything up, I am uncertain of our ability to win in this series. It really is that simple. We're going to change up the top pairing. We're going to go with Bean and Riley, Byram, Hamilton, Myers, and Dillon. We're at least allowed to make those changes under that guideline. The fourth line has struggled. The plus-minus, of course, not the best stat in the world, but it's telling. And third line-wise, I mean, they've still played well together, but that second line has been brutalized in terms of defense. So, yeah, that question is certainly there over what the hell I'm allowed to do, if anything. I think for now, I'm going to leave it as is. But there is that debate moving forward as far as whether or not I can change things up in the playoffs and at least have that full freedom. In fairness, though, I mean, I don't want to break up that top line. I could drop Whitfield down under the rules of having to play people within their role. But, yeah, just a very demoralizing start to this series. Talk about Spencer Knight having his biggest challenge yet, and Jack Campbell, unfortunately, didn't exactly instill confidence. I mean, it's going to be Spencer Knight. He is our best option. We picked up Jack Campbell for the express reason of... for the express reason? For the sole reason. Fucking word am I thinking of, express? I think technically that can work. I don't know what word I'm thinking of. It's just a weird episode at this point. We're going to go to Jimmy Howard. Picked up Jack Campbell for the sole reason of having a better backup goaltender than Jimmy Howard, of course, and we'll be fine. Now, I got to admit, I Googled express reason, and, I can't find anything about it. I know I've heard that before, but I'm pretty sure it's just incorrect. Maybe it's just a fucking New England thing. I don't know. Anyway, I need to stop stalling at this point. Jordan's stalling. He's not on the team anymore. Neither is Eric. Game 3 in Pittsburgh. Philly's up 2-0. Pittsburgh's up 2-0. The state of Pennsylvania is gearing up for a war. Can we prevent it? First period of Game 3, and we do get the early edge. Teuvo Teravainen scores under a minute in. They ended up outshooting us 17-10, but we have the 1-0 lead. The best period of play from Spencer Knight thus far. We're going to need much, much more, though. Second period, And there we go. 27 saves thus far from Knight. That is the key, as much as I am thankful for Andrei Svechnikov scoring from a god-awful angle and making this a 2-0 game on Wallstead. Is it a one-game injury, or has something more severe happened to Matt Murray, in which case this could be the turning point that we needed as we go to the third. One more goal you'd like to think could seal the deal, but Pittsburgh did score 5 goals in the first period of the last game as they cannot convert on that power play, and we are halfway through the period already. Can we hold on? Power play opportunity here. Can't get anything out of it, but we do kill time, and with 1 minute to go, that'll do it. 2-0 final in Game 3, a 38-save shutout from Spencer Knight. A tremendous return to form and a disrespectful showing from EA to not have him be the first star of the game. Tara Vinen gets the winning goal, and the biggest question coming out of this game now, oh my God, is whether or not Matt Murray's hurt. Is what the rest of that sentence was going to be. Now the biggest question is what the hell is it going to take to win this series? Spencer Knight gets hurt again at a very crucial time, which will obviously lead to doubts over whether or not he is in fact the goaltender for the future. We are going to have to rely on Jack Campbell or Jimmy Howard to get us out of this, because Spencer Knight is down. We do win Game 3. A much, much better performance, defensively and goaltending-wise. Before we jump into this very important Game 4, we have to find out whether or not Matt Murray is hurt. He is not, but Eric Holla, out with a fractured elbow, is. So it was a one-game injury for Murray. And instead, it's Spencer Knight now who's out long-term. Now we change our focus to this Pittsburgh team where Calle Yarncroke is slotted in as the third-line center. No changes on defense, and again, Matt Murray will be good to go for Game 4. And I have that decision to make now over whether or not we trust Jack Campbell or Jimmy Howard. Had Howard been better, we would have acquired, or we would not have acquired Campbell, but we did, and then he got an opportunity in relief and was terrible. Do we go with the veteran? Jack Campbell. You get one opportunity here. It's a must-win for you. To show that you're the goaltender that everyone thought you could be when you were drafted 11th overall. At least I think it was 11th. I was literally just looking at it. I blanked on it because what the hell just happened with Spencer Knight. We go to Game 4 in a bit of a demoralized state despite the win. Big first period here. Let's see what happens. And we have a 1-0 lead. Alex Turcotte, 15 shots to 13. A great start from Campbell. We'll see if he can hold on to that start. He can now. 28 saves for Campbell. It's still 1-0 as we go to the third period with a chance to tie this series up at 2 wins apiece through 4 games, and Phil Kessel scores 27 seconds in. Absolutely brutal, but Matanen restores the lead. We're up 2-1. Evgeny Malkin ties it under 3 minutes later. This is anybody's game. Under 10 minutes remaining. Do we have what it takes to hold on here is the question. 2 minutes. Are we destined for overtime? Yes, we are. Goals from Kessel and Malkin in the third period has led to this. 42 shots to 41. A tie game heading into overtime of game number 4. Pittsburgh wins. They're up 3-1 and have a chance to close out this series when we return home to Carolina. If we win, it's a best of 3 from this point on. Who wins? No idea, but let's just hope they happen to be a Hurricane. At least the player who scores the overtime-winning goal happens to be the Hurricanes. Here we go. We need this desperately. Jamie Whitfield has done it. 1 minute and 15 seconds into overtime. Whitfield gets the job done. 3-2 is your final score. And this series is all tied up. The home team has yet to win through the opening 4 games, and Jack Campbell rises to the occasion. A 40-save effort that cannot be overlooked, despite Whitfield being the hero in overtime and getting the winner. A tremendous overall performance. Whitfield, Turcotte, and Matanen with the goals. And we are tied 2 games apiece at this stage. It makes me wonder, no, Philly has not choked. Philly has already punched their ticket to the conference final. So there you go. There's your answer. It'll either be Carolina and Philadelphia or a Battle of Pennsylvania in the Eastern Conference final. But we are giving the Penguins a little bit of trouble. We're putting up a fight, having outscored them 5-2 over the last 2 games after they managed to outscore us by a tremendous amount of 12-6, doubling us up over the course of the first 2 games. We return home to Carolina. All the pressure in the world here to get ahead in this series. Menu lag is a wonderful thing, but that is okay. We can overcome it. Jack Campbell between the pipes. Let's see what happens. What kind of performance will we see from this team? What version of the Hurricanes is going to show up tonight? First period, and it's a goal apiece. Trevor Zegras and Radko Gudas. We talked about the lack of goal scoring, point production in general from their defensemen. They're stepping up right now in this series. We're tied at 1. Second period, tied no longer. Hunter Shinkaruk, call him what you want. He gets the goal that puts us back on top in this game. And Braden Shen with the insurance. Wonderful stuff. Maybe he headshotted Malkin like he tried to headshot Pasternak. We're up 3-1 heading into the final period of regulation. Can we hold on? Will we be the ones with the chance to close out this series in 6 back in Pittsburgh? Power play goal for Nino Niederreiter. It's 4-1. We are on the verge of our 3rd consecutive victory, unless the Penguins pull off a miracle comeback. Nikita Gusev scores, and it's clenching time. 3 minutes left. The Carolina Hurricanes unclench. Whew, that was stressful. Gusev and Kessel scare us, but we hold on. 44 shots to 32, 4-3 on the board. A win is a win, and we are 1 win away from taking on Philadelphia in the conference final. 2 points apiece for Niederreiter and Zegras. Nikita Gusev did what he could, but it was not enough. 3 straight wins. We become the first team in the series to win at home. And now we have 2 opportunities to end this series. Hopefully it only takes 1. Both of the Western Conference Finals matchups also going to 6 games. St. Louis and Edmonton ahead in those series. No changes to make to the lineup. We will still rely on Jack Campbell to get us across the line here. Let's see what happens. It's Game 6. Can we end this series here? Our first opportunity to do so. First period, and it's a tremendous start. Hamilton and Riley, our 2 top defensemen. We split them up, but it worked out well there. 2-0 at the end of 20 minutes. 13 shots to 9 in our favor, and things are looking good. But we have a bit of a ways to go. Second period, and Pittsburgh gets 1 back, but only 1. Phil Kessel just before the halfway point is able to get Pittsburgh on the board. They had the edge in shots, but we have the lead on the scoreboard. We are either 20 minutes away from punching our ticket to the Eastern Conference Final to take on the Philadelphia Flyers, 20 minutes away from Pittsburgh forcing Game 7, from the Penguins forcing Game 7, or we're 20 minutes away from overtime, where then either one of those results could happen. Here we go. third period of Game 6. Can we get the job done? Is there an insurance goal? Can Jack Campbell shut the door from this point on? Do we have what it takes? Whitfield makes it a 2-goal lead. Power play chance. Now a 5-on-3. Come on. Damn it. 5 minutes left. Yard croak. Clench. Clench. Come on. Yes. Jake Bean. The empty netter. Whoo. Unclench. Pittsburgh puts up a fight. They scare us in the third period again. But god damn it, yes, we get the win. 4-2 is your final. 4 unanswered wins, and a series that is won in 6 games by the score of 4-2. Unreal. What an effort. 4 straight wins despite Spencer Knight going down. Whitfield a 3-point game. McKinnon a 3-assist game. And a 30-save effort. Jack Campbell, take a bow, my good sir. You did it. You did it. And you have gotten us to the Eastern Conference Final for the very first time in this series. Edmonton awaits the winner of Nashville and St. Louis. We might as well find out who the Western Conference Final matchup will be between, and the answer, as Spencer Knight is back, although that raises a very interesting question, the answer is St. Louis. Blues and Oilers, Flyers and Hurricanes. There will be a first-time match. Well, actually, I mean, we got our chance. We got a chance for an 06 rematch. I almost forgot about that. I'm like, hey, who the hell did Carolina beat? Oh yeah, that's right, Edmonton. There could be a first-time matchup of Oilers-Flyers, Blues or Flyers. Although, did the Flyers beat the Blues? No, the Blues didn't make it beyond 1970. That's right. That's right. Here's hoping the real-world finals don't go that well. Point being, we are in the conference final. And we do have the question over what we can do with the Lions, because there is a legitimate question. Campbell wasn't amazing, but he got the job done beyond that first appearance that really dragged down the save percentage. But, of course, Spencer Knight is good to go. He wasn't that much better, but he is still our guy. And if I have to play players within their roles in the playoffs, Spencer Knight's the guy. Until further notice, Dom Machine might actually be back as well at one point in the 7 games played. But if we look at the team that managed to win that 6th game, Svechnikov up to 7 points, 4 goals in 8 games. Nathan McKinnon only 2 goals, which is concerning, but still has 16 points in 11 games. And the reason why is because Whitfield has been on point. 15 points in 11 games, 8 goals for the superstar that is Jamie Whitfield. Unreal. Shooting 14% in the playoffs right now, making the most of it. Second line, Niederreiter, the plus-minus certainly started to go up as that series went on. Has 8 points in 11 games. Same for Shen, and 7 points for one Teuvo Teravainen. The third line, I'm loving these guys right now. Pekka Matanen, 7 points, 5 points, 4 goals for Alex Turcotte, and 10 points for Trevor Zegras. The fourth line, still a little bit shaky, but Hannes Shinkaruk did score. You have now 3 points for Theo and 2 points for Allen. And at this point, you might as well just consider, like, all right, we just keep the team the same and go for it. I don't know if this team's good enough to win the whole damn thing, but it's one hell of a team. At the very least, we can say that it's one hell of a team. Jake Bean, 13 points in 11 games, alongside Riley, who now has 6 points. You have Bowen Byram with just 1 point, but a +3. 7 points for Dougie Hamilton. Brendan Dillon with the 1 point, an even rating, and 3 points for Myers in 4 games. I mean, damn. Philippi Myers wants to stay in this lineup. Good Lord. And we might keep him right alongside Brendan Dillon if we're allowed to. Dom Machine may have just lost his spot because Philippi Myers has come to play. Regardless, though, that decision will be up to you guys. We won't be able to make that decision today. We will wait to see what you guys have to say. And we will make those adjustments heading into the next episode where, again, we will be taking on Philadelphia in the Eastern Conference Final. years of missing the playoffs, we get back. We've beaten the Islanders. We've beaten the Penguins. And we're just 4 wins away from a Stanley Cup appearance, which seemed to be a million miles away not all that long ago. I thank you guys very much for watching. If you haven't dropped the video a like already, feel free to do so. It would help me out tremendously with YouTube's outrageous algorithms. Check out everything in the description if you have not already, or check out the update video from a few days ago that, of course, explains the new look of the channel, the fact that there is merch available, and there will be more in the future. Like I've mentioned before, I don't just want to slap a logo on a shirt and be like, hey, merch. There'll be more cooler stuff down the road. Not that the logo isn't beautiful. And, of course, there's a P.O. box open as well, because people begged me for years, hey, open up a P.O. box. I did. And now I'm expecting, when I go check it for the first time, to just have a lot of things that I probably shouldn't put on YouTube because I'll get demonetized, because that's what people do on the internet. But we'll see what happens. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a good one. Take it easy, and I'll see you then.